Want a beautiful popcorn garland that won't crumble or attract pests? Unlike real popcorn, this version is bug-free, mess-free, and lasts forever. Hi, it's Krista at The Secret Yarnery. Today we are making this amazing popcorn garland, perfect decoration for anywhere in your house around the holidays, super fast and easy to make, and also lasts forever. To make your perfect popcorn, you're going to need yarn. I'm using size 4 worsted weight acrylic, just whatever colors or scraps you have at home. You need about this much. This is a small kernel or a small popcorn, and this is a larger popcorn. It is around 2 yards or a little less than 2 meters per popcorn. I'll be using a 5mm crochet hook, and you'll also need a pair of scissors. To make your popcorn garland, you're going to need popcorn. You'll also need some red beads. These were just regular beads from one of those car mats or car seats that I took apart and then spray painted. If you need to spray paint your own beads like I did, the best way to do it, string them all onto some yarn you have laying around and then spray paint them like this so they don't roll around. I spend a lot of time chasing beads around instead of just stringing them first. If you'd like to follow along with a written pattern, all of my patterns are available on my website, secretyarnery.com, and all of my patterns are written in plain English, just like I was sitting there right beside you. Start by making our popcorn. So just grab your white yarn or your cream colored yarn, and we need to make a magic ring. Now you could do this with a chain 3 ring, but it would be really hard to cinch that center close to get it to scrunch up into a popcorn. So really try to follow along and do the magic ring. To start a magic ring, just hold that tail over your non-dominant hand. We don't need to make a long tail, so just like the very end of that tail on your ring finger, wrap it around your 2 fingers, making an X, and bring it around that 3rd finger and underneath your thumb. Turn your hand over, and you will have a short strand and a long strand. Grab your crochet hook, hook side facing down, and slide it underneath that short strand on top of the long strand, and just bring it under the short strand and point the hook towards yourself, up on the fat part of your hook. Release your thumb a little bit so this long strand can slide, and turn the hook away from you underneath the long strand to loop it. And now we're going to bring that yarn through the loop on our hook. You can pinch what's underneath your hook and then slide that yarn through, and now you can let go of everything, and there is your magic ring. To make your popcorn, we're going to start with a chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to go into that very first chain, or that very first loop that we made right there, and we're going to slip stitch. So slip stitch into the side of that first chain, and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to slip stitch into the ring, and we want to make sure we're going over that tail. So slip stitch into the ring, and around that tail, and now chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. When we do a chain 4, we're going to slip stitch into that very first loop at the bottom of the chain. So slip stitch into the side of the first chain, 1 slip stitch, and then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And when we chain 3, we're going to slip stitch into the ring and around the tail. It is into the middle of the ring, slip stitch, and now chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to go into the side of that first chain. So chain 4 and into the side to slip stitch. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and into the ring, going over the tail. So the chain 3s go into the ring, and the chain 4s go into the side. So chain 4 and into the side, slip stitch, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and into the ring, going over that tail, slip stitch, chain 4, and slip stitch into the side, chain 3, and slip stitch into the ring and over the tail. So we're just going to repeat that 5 or 6 times. 5 is a little popcorn like that. It looks super realistic. If you're making a garland, it is nice to do a 6. It just gives you a little bit of extra yarn, a little bit of extra poof to keep some distance and some space on your garland. So for the garland, we're going to be doing 6 of these bumps. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do that again. So chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, slip stitch into the side, chain 3, and slip stitch into the ring. So there is our 6 bumps. Chain 1 to secure your yarn, and cut your yarn, just leaving like a 1.5 inch tail. We're just going to knot that and cut it off. So whatever yarn we leave is going to be wasted 100%. Pull your hook up and your yarn through, snug that down. Now grab your magic ring tail or the tail from the center, and we're going to really pull that nice and snug. There, just like that. And now make a double knot, so tie both of your tails together twice. Really pulling snug. Go ahead and cut off those 2 tails. Now you can just give your popcorn a little push, a little twist, and it will turn into a popcorn, just like that. So now go ahead and make a bunch of popcorn, and then we are ready to assemble our garland. So go ahead and thread your yarn onto your needle, and you want your yarn to match your popcorn. So whatever color popcorn you made, go ahead and use the same or a similar color yarn. And now we are ready to start threading our garland. So grab a popcorn. I'm actually going to put 2 popcorns. And for stitching them, you just don't want to go through the middle. You kind of want to go from one side to the other side so you get some more distance on your garland, like that. So 2 popcorns, and then a berry or a wooden bead. So 2 more popcorns, one side to the other side. Do that twice. And then a bead. So you can pause the video and keep threading your popcorns. The trick is to go through your popcorns from one side to the other, not just into the center. And you, of course, could put as many popcorns or beads. It doesn't have to be 2 popcorns and 1 bead. You could do whichever way you like. More popcorns, less popcorns, more beads, less beads. And then just keep working along until all your popcorn and all of your beads are threaded. So pause the video and I will see you when your garland is the length you want it to be or you've used up all of your popcorn and all of your beads. When your garland is the length you want it to be, you want to end on popcorn. So we can just sew in that tail to end on a popcorn. You could also leave a little bit of a loop if you want to attach it to a nail or a thumbtack. For me, it's going on my tree, so I'm just going to sew in this tail on each end of those popcorns, just to hide that tail. There, just like that, and then we can cut it off and just repeat that on the other side. And there is your super cute popcorn garland that will stay fresh forever. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial as much as I did. I'm waiting for you in that video up there, and stay hooked.